Whatever, for real. Yeah.
All right. So that's the first question. What that is?
Invisalign tray. Liner.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get you Invisalign. I think you need to see the difference first.
So fun. If he really made his own trays, that man's perfect.
No, he is. He's coming up with his own thing.
He's educated in every way.
Really?
Uh-huh. We're gonna start. He told me when was it? Okay.
We're gonna do our own. Can we get this?
All right.
Show me the goodies.
All right.
Yeah,
So
you're such a smart man.
I want you to see the difference between both of these aligners. You can just pass it over. All right, so we're gonna take about half hour, so let me go through that. So first of all, this is not Invisalign. This is
What?
actually American Aligners, and this is the new brand that I am working with right now, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So first of all, American Aligners, severe aligners made by an experienced orthodontist. And let me get to know each one of you. I know half of you, well, more than half. So let's go to
Those two.
how many of you had braces before?
Never in my life.
Never.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you're never
Never.
gonna get out of braces in your life.
Never.
I haven't.
I've had.
You had braces?
I've had.
Okay. How's your experience with braces?
I don't like it.
Okay, how long you had it for?
7 years.
Oof!
Yeah. My jaw's
You're
really
gonna
messed
be a
up.
very good patient for me.
Mm.
All right, how many of you had Invisalign, or at least use it, so you've seen it in your office?
No.
Never?
I've seen it in my office.
Yeah, you never had it, okay.
No.
All right. Had you tried any other aligner companies other than Invisalign? No? No, no. Okay. And then probably, are you willing to go for American aligners? So let me ask you a first question. Any complaints you had from Invisalign cases?
What kind?
No.
Yeah.
Like it's bothering me,
crack, they
it's
break?
not, it cracks, I
Patients
don't like the
break them fast?
attachments, whatever, any?
I've only heard that from one patient.
Attachments
but
break all the time.
that's-
Yeah.
that-
No, I've had some
Cracky?
cracking.
Alright, so what I'm trying to do here is actually I'm not.
Finish them in.
Someone's trying to go?
It's already time?
No, no.
Yeah, I heard that one. But we're
I know, but no, we're in lunch.
I thought Dr. Shine was supposed to come.
No. No, Shannon's not coming.
So what I've tried to do for the past 20 years, I've been working with Invisalign. I always think about something that can be better, faster, and less expensive. So after 20 years and spending at least the last couple of years, we spent like $10,000 just to get some softwares to get something as good or even better than Invisalign. So we came up with something I would say is better, because the plastic that you're having in your hand right now is definitely more clear and it requires less attachments, and the material is more elastic, just like the nitinol wire. It has more flexibility and durability built into it. Okay. The second thing that I was looking for is something faster. So always whenever we send the case to Invisalign, we have to wait like 3-4 weeks to get the aligners. But if we get everything local done here, we can get it done in a week or 2. So that's why the patient we just got the impression today, probably will get her aligners within 10 days.
Nice.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yes, and the software that we're using, it uses AI, artificial intelligence. So again, you will see hopefully better treatment results as well, and that will be proven over time. So I've been using it in my office for 6 months. So over time, you're gonna see more and more cases. And last but not least, is actually less expensive because it's local, and again, we get to include the retainer at no extra charge. So you're saving money for the office. Maybe some of that will be passed over to the patient. I think it's better quality and better treatment as well. So I'm going to show you the material
is
first.
proud to launch the product your patients deserve, Zendora Flex. We understand it's tempting to oversimplify the aligner therapy process. Just move the teeth in the direction of your digital treatment plan. and your patient will be showing off her perfect smile in no time, right? Well, here at Bay Materials, we recognize there's more to it than that. Research has shown that the material used during aligner therapy can have a drastic influence upon the success and experience of a treatment course. In fact, it can be just as important as the digital treatment plan itself. That's what makes us so excited to launch Zendora Flex. Stiff materials can cause pain and chronic discomfort for patients. This unpleasantness may arrive immediately or develop over time, as unforgiving materials may not show their true, painful colors until the teeth begin to move with treatment. A painful aligner is one thing. However, there are more subtle and equally unwanted symptoms of weak or low-grade materials. Standard or commodity plastics are unable to offer the same consistent tooth-moving force over time. As treatment progresses, these materials weaken and ultimately lower one's chances of completing a successful alignment. Ideally, your patients can have a pain-free aligner experience that actually tracks to your alignment plan too. Introducing Zendora Flex, a 3-layer aligner material and the first dual shell of its kind. With 2 outer layers to grip the teeth and maintain optimal positioning, Zendora Flex not only aligns, it protects your patient's teeth from impact and bruxing by the opposing arch. With 2 outer layers, that leaves us with 1 more. This is where the Zendora Flex magic happens. The center layer is elastomeric. This is for increasing tooth moving force over the patient's wear cycle, minimizing force and discomfort when first inserted by the patient, and providing unique elastic rebound and recovery properties. Standard aligner materials require a great deal of force for initial insertion. Needless to say, this can be an uncomfortable experience for the patient. This pain often wears off after the first day or two, as these materials tend to decline in force quite rapidly. And while this may be a welcome relief to the painful insertion, it's an unwelcome compromise. What your patients really need is a material that can produce positive tracking to your plan, while causing reduced pain and discomfort. Zendora Flex has exhibited 40% less force at insertion compared to standard materials for a relatively pain-free experience. Add to this, Flex is 50% greater force retention after several hours of use, and you're beginning to see the benefits of its elastomeric center layer at work. Bay Materials offers products that serve the long term. When it comes to wear and tear, there's no comparison. Zendora Flex is a remarkably durable material, offering a tear strength up to 300% higher than many of its competitors. It also stays clear for longer. We threw everything we could at this material, and it still came out on top. Even with greater exposure to staining liquids and foods like mustard, coffee, teas, and sodas, Zendora Flex stood above the rest, exhibiting up to 87% less staining than competitors. Aligner therapy no longer needs to compromise. Previous treatment plans have overlooked the importance of a winning material, and Zendora Flex can provide unparalleled tracking to plan without compromise. Your therapeutic process must naturally prioritize results, but this doesn't need to be at the expense of your patient's comfort or well-being. You need something that works and continues to work until the job is done, while minimizing pain and discomfort. For a product that you can proudly and safely recommend, consider Zendora Flex from Bay Materials.
So again, it's this company is in Fremont, which is close to where I live, and I think it's an excellent product, much more superior than what we had with Invisalign. And the software that we're using, again, it has few advantages over the ClinCheck. That's going to be more detailed toward the dentist, so maybe we'll skip that for now. But again, you can get definitely better results, maybe less aligners as well. That's always a plus. I've been working with Invisalign again for over 20 years, board certified. I've been Invisalign provider since 2000, long time ago. And I'm actually a consultant for many of the dentists. So whenever a case is, the harder one to do, I usually go on the ClinCheck, modify it, and do that as a fee for service.
Really?
What?
Did you say those things when you know them for a long time?
Yeah, exactly. Fast.
That's how I got Joanna. I got her, doctor. I got her, okay?
So.
I'll leave her here. You can take her home.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, my Lord.
So what adult patient are we looking for when it comes to orthodontic treatment? Can someone help me?
Straight teeth.
That's expensive,
Less expensive, straight teeth, what else?
less painful,
Less painful, true.
short time.
Short
Short
time
time,
is definitely,
because some
yes.
of them don't even wear them.
Very,
If
Yeah.
it's, you know, they get frustrated longer.
very true. So if I can get something that is faster in treatment, so instead of finishing in a year, finishing in, 6 months, 8 months, that's definitely a plus. Unfortunately, they still have to wear it full time. That's how it would work ideally. And again, aesthetics is a big thing for adults as well. So most of them is looking for something that is really clear. So in some of the cases I had with Invisalign, when the patients start to see the edges of the aligners, they're not very happy. That's why one of the things is you're gonna see that our aligners are cut differently. I'll show you that in the end. And then affordable for sure. If anything can lower the lab bill and that can be passed over to the patient, that definitely makes it more affordable. And the very common question is, when I'm gonna be done? So when I get something done, someone been asking me every single visit when I'm gonna be done. This is actually Invisalign. That is our model that we've used in marketing before. I can see that the clarity of Invisalign is not as clear. Actually, it has a little bit of like lines like in the aligner from inside. I know why, because again, I've used to be a consultant for them. Their models are not as smooth as our models and American aligners. Their models are a little bit more rough. That's why it's chosen the aligners. You can see ours is definitely more clear than Invisalign brand. And actually, I don't have mine on, it's on the card, but when I have mine on, you cannot see it. So this one, I'm actually wearing my American aligners. So it doesn't show because one of the reasons we came up with is the line is here. So it's not like with Invisalign, which is kind of like that. So it makes it a little bit more obscure to see. So again, American aligners, we're gonna start to use that. Let me go over a couple of things. First of all, any questions so far? Okay, if you know me long enough, if you don't ask questions, I'm gonna ask you
The
questions.
attachments are still gonna be the same?
Yes, but less number.
Less number of attachments. Okay. Because I do see some patients that complain about the attachments. That they can
100%
see them
But it looks like
like
a
bumps.
tooth growing out of a tooth.
like on there.
I agree, and again, the dream is to have aligners that can be worn only at night, with no attachments, and move exactly the same. We're not there yet, but I think it's definitely something, even me personally, I don't like attachments.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you a question. How often the patient change their aligner?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay, it depends. It's very important because if you say 2 weeks and then another patient say, you know what, my dentist told me every week. And then another patient can review every 3 weeks. So number one thing of teeth moving faster would be what?
Changing them more frequently.
No, but why would I get some patient to change more or less frequently than 2 weeks?
Oh, that's a good one. Hold on.
I should have my
How
chart.
much movement they have to do that, yeah.
But everyone would like to have a faster movement, you know.
Maybe because their mouth is
Painful.
bad. Their teeth are worse than others.
So
Their teeth are perfect.
you specifically, you should be able to answer that. Okay.
Really?
All right. Kids, different than teenagers, different than adults.
Okay.
So, and even here, if you can see the same crowding for someone who's a kid, and I come back in the front telling you this is 12 months, and you say, this guy's it's too crowded, how you? But the age of the patient is ideal. So same thing with aligners. If a patient is probably between 12 and 18, probably he can change it every week. And that would make the treatment a little bit faster, and he will finish faster, even with braces. Okay? When it comes to maybe a little bit older, between 20 till 30, we can change it every 2 weeks, which is the most common. Usually 40, 50, above. Sometimes I go 3 weeks because of, the bone is harder.
Yeah.
And again, perio is an issue as well.
So their
slow
age
down.
is
This is the major one.
measure it.
Perio, teeth, small or big, and all that stuff is another factor. But definitely
Right.
with age, and again,
Yeah.
you're gonna see it on a daily basis. Cases are finished faster when they're young,
Yeah.
and exact same crowding if they do it in the future would be more time.
Yeah.
So we change it every 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, depending on the patient age.
Age. Okay, the age.
All right, another question. Why are American aligners trimmed straight.
So you don't see
Yes. Some patients, yeah, it's actually some patients say it's pressing in the gum. We can trim it then, but in the majority of cases, I had some of in my office that had Invisalign, and now we shifted them to American aligners. They're much happier because they're more clear and doesn't bother them as much because there's no edges. But again, every probably 10 cases, I have a patient say, you know, it's pressing in my gum, then I have to trim it then. Okay. And last but not least question is, how did you come up with the name American aligners?
Because we're American.
Almost.
Is it just like
It's a local company. It's in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. It's in America.
Amber's your first name.
Oh, look at
Amer, I can.
Oh.
Come on, it's not just Americans. Amer, I can aligners.
Oh.
Well, thank God for my grandfather. He named himself Amer, so that's why it works perfectly for me now. All right.
Wow,
So
that's good. That's a good
Serious?
one. I was like,
Wow.
wow, it took you a minute there.
Forget American, it's Amer. Nice.
Amer, I can.
Amer, I can.
Amer,
Other than
I
Amer, I
Oh, we got
can't.
that too.
I can.
All right, pricing, and this is gonna be important for the front office. So again, everything is 30% less than Invisalign. So Invisalign fee for Express 5 is $575. Ours is $295. Express 10 is instead of $995, it's gonna be $695, and the full case instead of $1880 is gonna be $1395. So everything is exactly 30% less. Plus, we do give you the retainer for free. So Invisalign doesn't provide you with a retainer. We have one retainer for free. If you need the Vivera one, which is the 4 sets, again, it's about 30% less. If you get to be having more cases, like I have some offices in Sacramento, they have like more than 10 cases a month, we give them a little bit more discount. We're very exclusive at this point, which means that we only limit it to 10 dentists to start with. So we have 5 offices, 2 in Sacramento, 1 in Galt, and 5 in San Jose, and 1 in Redwood City, and 1 in Pleasanton. So we're trying to test how everything is moving, and things are hopefully improving, getting better and better. Then we can go ahead and make a second launch. How to present it. So again, we're only limited to some offices just to see how it would be presented. So my proposal, if a patient comes even into my office asking for Invisalign, then I would show them both. I would tell them, you know what, we have 2 brands. One is local made, it's in Bay Area, and it's called American Aligners, and one is called Invisalign. So both
Where's
are good.
Invisalign at?
It's actually, it's made in Costa Rica, but it's the company itself is in Silicon Valley too, Bay Area. But so all the aligners are, yes, if you get to see the shipment coming to the office, it's always
Yeah, all
gonna
the
be.
time, but I don't.
You throw it away right away.
That's a knuckle sandwich.
Yes.
That's a knuckle
Ours
sandwich.
Ours is locally made, so it again makes it faster, and again everything, even so the software companies in the Bay Area, the aligner, the Zendora is in the Bay Area.
It's not
and-
Costa Rica, California.
So should we persuade one or the other, or what?
Yeah.
So
What do we
again,
do? What do we do here?
what I do in my office when the patient comes asking for Invisalign, then I would give them
Show
both
them
options
both.
and let them decide. Tell them, you know, I would tell them that I prefer American aligners because they are more clear and, you know, flat, so it doesn't show as much.
More
Right.
elasticity.
But again, if you really want to go with Invisalign, they're the same fee. In my office, I don't give discount for Invisalign or American aligners. And then, if a patient coming just for an alternative to braces, so let's say, you know, I would like to have something other than braces. So I'll tell you, you know what, we have something called American aligners, it's clear, this is how it looks. So I would just present it as one option. So I think that would be, you
Okay.
know, the best way to
Okay.
do it. Again, we think of American aligners as something better than Invisalign, and again, it's something that we have built over the years. It did take some time to really come up with something like that, but I think it's definitely a step forward, I would say. And again, Amer I can aligners. Hopefully we can get to use it more. And any questions we have? Go
Wow.
for it.
So we're gonna take scans to this
Yes.
and send it to you?
Either scan or impression, just like what we do in Invisalign.
Okay.
Yes. So today we have an impression, but again, scan is better because you can just email it to me and we can see it.
Okay, cool.
So we can just do them without you being here?
Yeah.
We can make our own.
So no more
That's what
PDFs.
So I can
no
just
more
scan and
PDFs
send it to you?
with
Yeah.
the material.
With, as long as we have pictures, just like exactly as you do with Invisalign. Alright.
Joanne's room,
I'm trying to believe it.
Hey, go for it. Let's wear your rubber bands and finish your braces first.
Do employees get a discount?
Say it again?
Do employees get a discount?
Actually, we'd have one case for free in each office, so whoever is in need.
Ah, my bottom one.
Sorry, you have seniority here. I know I was gonna say that. Sorry for the discouragement. You guys still have seniority. I'm sorry.
You were
Okay, well,
that
can I have a
person and you
second?
didn't follow through with your retainers.
By the way, whoever is going to be picked is going to be our role model for the office when it comes to we're a presenter, so we're going to point at you. So you're not going to be just, you know, for that.
Eva, come here. Look at Eva's
The
teeth.
doctor and I can't do it because he doesn't even wear his Invisalign.
Yes,
So.
he's not our best
Maybe
model.
we can persuade him to switch too.
Well, he's supposed to send me his STL file for another reason because nowadays with Invisalign you can only wear Invisalign not with the sleep apnea device that he's having for himself. So I'm actually incorporating that into American aligners. So now he's going to be wearing American aligners in the morning, and in the nighttime he's going to have the sleep apnea, which is built into the.
He was supposed to send you his SD. He hasn't even scanned it.
I know. Well,
What,
Now-
okay, what are you talking about? The sleep apnea, what is it?
sleep apnea, actually, if someone is having hard time breathing while they're sleeping or snoring or a few other things, they feel that part of it is because the tongue is actually not giving enough airway. So when you get to move your lower jaw forward, you get the tongue to come out with it as well, so you have more or better breathing. So actually, some kids actually really sleep better when they have better breathing at night. So
Ah,
Glide will have had some. Actually, I have it actually in here. Let me show it to you.
How do you?
Yeah, we've
So-
had a couple cases.
So that aligner fixes that? Has built it in there? Wow.
Yeah, you
Greg
snore?
says he's developing.
Snore?
Not me, my 8-year-old does.
I don't snore.
She's always scared and wants to sleep in my bed. I'm
So-
like, oh, you snore, kid.
So incorporating these rubber bands with American aligners, we had built. So instead of having one set of aligners per stage, we're gonna have two sets. One set is the one that you're wearing during the daytime. We can talk and have whatever normal life with, and at night you're gonna have one that is actually hold together with the lower jaw forward. So
Like
every time
those-
you need, so it still
With the
matches.
sleep guards.
Like a
those.
bulldog.
There you go. You're not helping at all, but that's okay.
Oh my God.
Don't tell that to my
Not
patients,
close.
please.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna look like a bulldog.
It's gonna give you that bulldog effect.
So that at night time it will be less snoring, better breathing. Daytime you have the other set, so you can move both of them at the same time.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. So I guess Dr. Anaya was supposed to send me one, but I guess I'll try to catch
He's
him.
having too much fun. at
Maybe in
Egypt.
November?
Well,
Comes back.
I'll catch him before that. Any questions you have for me? All right. I hope you're all excited
We're
about it.
unimpressed.
I am.
I am.
We're happy to have
I'm
you
very
with us
keen.
today.
Did you invent this?
Oh, Aimer aligners, Aimer.
You? So you're like the inventor?
Yes. I'm the guy behind the idea, but I have a few engineers that help me with the software and other things.
The question is, do you want his autograph now or later? Never reach him.
I want a
do you
picture
want it?
better yet.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want a picture. You're so smart.
Well, after I shaved my head, it came
Oh my God.
more ideas came.
Hey,
Start
we
to
knew
pop
something
up.
was,
I'm a genius.
We got a new doctor. I was like,
We got a doctor?
I know.
he's
Wait a
so,
minute,
so
wait a minute.
much
Dr. Emmer?
younger and everything.
All right. Hope you enjoyed lunch.
Oh, yes,
and
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I know
Thank you
you're
so
so
much.
Let's again, everyone comes in. I'm gonna leave one of these models here for you,
yes.
so you can get to
please.
see it, show it to
So
the
the
patient.
person that's never had aligners before, we just
We
show them
just
this one.
Show them
We don't give them the
American.
option.
Yes.
But our returning
What about-
patient, we do too.
Yes, returning patient or again patient who are
Ask
coming
about
asking for
Invisalign.
Invisalign, telling you not, we have both options. You can decide.
Okay.
So let me see. I think the clear one. This would be here. There you go.
Thank you
And
very
you can
much.
put it in our box and
Just
make a
get
liner
one?
sample. Well, for now.
Okay.
And then you can keep this one as Invisalign sample as well. So here you go. You can move this one here. I'll keep these here.
And this is the box.
Was I finding lucky?
No.
Well, this is the sample box.
Oh, just a minute.
We're working, one of the things I'm working on, do you know what style that if you lose your keys? Okay, so we're working on a retainer model, retainer blocks that have tile built in. So if you lose it, you can buzz it and you can see where it is.
Oh my gosh.
It's a whole.
Well, this is still under work in progress, so it's not.
Oh.
I like
If
that.
I give you
How many tables?
one, wait, if I give you $1, can I invest with you?
There you
I don't
go.
know.
A dollar?
My dollar can be something one day.
That's so cool.
Alright, I'm gonna send the video